San Francisco real estate is really, really dead. Guys, you have people not coming back, and for good reason, because who in the right mind will ever spend like $1 million for like a 900 square feet, one bed, one bath condo and a, I guess, decent area in San Francisco? I guess you do get a rooftop balcony in a very old building, and your HOA is like $1,400. Like, nobody's gonna do that. Okay, it's very, very stupid. It's very, very expensive. A lot of people with that much money would rather go somewhere else. All right. Not to mention, most of these tech workers are working online. I know several colleagues of mine who are like insurance bros, tech bros, finance bros. They're all working online, making $85,000 to $125,000 a year. Okay, they're not gonna be going out of their way and moving to San Francisco just to work in a WeWork office space. Nobody's doing that. That's insane. And it's very expensive to live in San Francisco, not to mention the high crime, high homelessness. The city isn't doing anything, and you're going to be paying a crazy amount of taxes. So you take your money elsewhere. Texas, Florida are all very, very popular places. The Bahamas, Costa Rica, and even Mexico are becoming havens for digital nomads. We're also seeing a lot of people moving overseas to Thailand, Bali, and several other places that really makes the dollar go further. Now, if we check out this is a lot of lost equity. San Francisco homes are selling for $220,000 less than a year ago. This is a lot of money lost. This isn't just, maybe 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand down the drain. We're talking about $250,000. We're talking about money that's enough to buy a McLaren. And that McLaren money is gone. And San Francisco homes are probably the least desirable in the whole entire world, despite being like the tech hub. Now, there's some underlying issues. You have insane amounts of poverty and homelessness. Now, the city isn't really doing much. I think the politics are just so conflicting. I think the cops want to do a lot of things, but they simply can't. Their hands are kind of tied behind their backs. Oakland's even worse, with a average real estate decrease in value of 20 to 25%. San Francisco is already pretty terrible, dropping like 1/5 of its value. But if you look at the commercial sector for San Francisco, some of these offices are literally selling for pennies on the dollar, with whole skyscrapers like 350 California Street selling for 75% off. That is by far the fattest real estate deal I've ever seen since 2008. So San Francisco is having its own little mini 2008 crisis here because the city is actually freaking out. City's going bankrupt, guys. This is about to pull Detroit. Now, before the pandemic, they actually had a surplus of cash, so they didn't really care too much about the whole homeless situation. But now, because everyone's leaving because of the high homelessness and we're in a post-pandemic market, a lot of people are not necessarily wanting to live in San Francisco. And then it's more like they don't have to be here anymore, so they're all leaving. They're like, okay, high homelessness, high crime. I'm making like 150K. Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm working online. I guess I'll just move to Austin. I guess I'll move to the Bahamas. I'll move to Cayman Islands. I'll move to Portugal. That's what's happening for a lot of these tech Americans here. Like, they don't have to live in this tech city. In fact, companies are even encouraging them to get out because that means they just got to rent less. Uber is already downsizing their office space. There's rumors that PayPal may also be leaving San Francisco because so many employees are working online. So yeah, San Francisco homes are selling for $220,000 less, but guess what? It's going to sell for even more because now you have people questioning the true value of San Francisco properties and also the rest of the California market. And if you check out this, you also have just insane amounts of homelessness. Now, homelessness is crazy in San Francisco, and it's also spreading to other California cities. San Diego, one of the cities that have a lot less homelessness, is experiencing a San Francisco, which is not a thing you want to do. So if you look at other places like, San Antonio's homeless program, they're actually pretty smart, okay? They actually have, whole entire privately run villages of tiny homes outside of Austin. They also have a lot of treatment centers and also places that literally train people to get skills so they can actually find a job and get off the streets. It's a fantastic program. Okay, and Texas actually has a decreasing homeless problem if you look at some of the statistics. And if you look at, the Lone Star State counts for 90 homelessness, people for 100,000 people. In California, it's about, 400 to 500 people per 100,000 residents. So there's a very, very big contrast here. We're also seeing San Diego suddenly having a spike up in homelessness, especially after the most recent election. San Diego has always been pretty Republican, but recently it's been getting pretty Democrat, and not really, pointing fingers or anything. But it really shows you that, bad politics and also a sudden change will affect the homeless program a lot. So right now, nobody's coming back. Okay, and I think the city of San Francisco is really, really panicking because they're actually seeing a lot of their offices being empty, real estate pieces selling for cheap. Remember, cities make a lot of money from property taxes and also companies and workers stationing there. And when these people leave, you're going to be having a huge drop in revenue. So if you look at San Francisco, their insane taxes and their absurd laws, people just don't want to come back anymore. And I think the mayor of San Francisco is also a little bit scared because they're seeing a negative balance sheet. I mean, it's always been years and years of them having a huge surplus of money. And for the first time in a long time, they're having a massive decrease in money. So now a lot of these very expensive condos are no longer selling. Developers are pretty mad. The big office guys and big office landlords are really, really angry. The city has pretty much ran itself to the ground. And a lot of people have been saying, yeah, man, just try to solve the homelessness problem. I mean, do something. But of course, probably nothing is ever going to be done. As mentioned, affordable housing is probably never going to be built because nobody wants affordable housing to be built in their neighborhood. But I feel like you could definitely find some land outside of San Francisco and just try to get some things done. But like I said before, San Francisco, they just are not really money savvy at all. I think they just don't really care too much. And if you want to do anything here, it takes forever. Not to mention the businesses here are kind of sick of the high taxes. And if you want to open like just a simple restaurant or just a regular store, let alone a big company, like the amount of laws you got to go through is crazy. Okay, it seems like the city just wants your money, but at the same time, they don't want you to open stores. Like, pick one or the other. It's a very difficult environment to navigate, and this is why so many people are leaving. Not to mention, if you look at Los Angeles, for example, rich people aren't moving back. Okay, there's only 2 homes above $5 million that got sold last month for all of the LA County area. That's insane. This is an international neighborhood. If you look at other places like Singapore, Hong Kong, Tokyo, Sydney, dude, homes over $5 million, they're selling them like hotcakes. They're selling them like crazy. But whereas a lot of these places in the California region, a lot of rich people are not buying. If you're rich enough to buy a $5 to $7 million home, like a lot of these guys are looking elsewhere. There's so many cities in this world and even in America that don't have the crazy high crime and homelessness like San Francisco. And by the way, if you try to park your car on the side of the road, you'll be lucky to not get your window smashed in. And this is why a lot of people just simply don't want to move back. I think San Francisco is a fantastic place, and also the location is fantastic as well, with amazing and really, really big ports. But I really do feel like if they don't change things up, the city will honestly be pulling Detroit. So thanks for watching, guys. Comment below. And before you guys leave, definitely check out the private Discord server, Patreon link below for some amazing trades. We trade live on a daily basis. And we also have, it's $10 a month, lots of great trades, and we're winning 75 to 85, 90% win rates. Check us out. We trade live every single day.